Hello all, welcome to Tech with SAS. Are you confused between various architectural roles in software industry like enterprise architect, solutions architect, and technical architect? These roles we always hear in our companies and organizations, but we are not sure like how does they differ and what job they are doing in everyday life. So in this video, I will attempt to compare and contrast these roles and also see the various responsibilities and roles they are playing so that it will be clear to an extent. So because like this topic is very wide and maybe also not like a problem of algorithm that we can solve and give an answer, but that will give you a broad perspective about what these roles do in a nutshell. So let's start. And also, I will give you a if you want to become a good architect in future and you're aspiring for that. So I will also give you a pro tip in the last of the video. So, if you want to understand what are these roles like enterprise architect, solutions architect, technical architect performs, so there are various parameters by which we can compare and contrast and understand. But I think if you compare the technology focus and a strategy focus for these three roles, it is very easy to understand like what they are doing. So which role is focusing more on the technical aspects, which role is more focused on the strategy, like the company strategy, or maybe the strategies defined by the top management, right? So these two areas we will cover, and we will see like which role is focusing more on these focus areas, right? So, if we talk about the technology focus, it means that what are the technical tools, languages, framework we are going to adopt and why, and how we are going to basically choose one technology over another. So those aspects, the role which want to focus, that is going to be like more technology heavy, but the role which want to basically focus to fulfill the company's strategy, like company's vision, mission, objectives, that is going to focus on the strategy side, right? So if you look into enterprise architect, right, so that is more focused on the strategy side because they have the idea of the whole landscape of the applications in an enterprise. For an example, if you are an enterprise architect with any financial institution such as bank, right? So bank has many product which it offers. For example, it offers deposits, credit card, mortgages, motor loan. Okay, so to support these many products, bank also have the multiple applications which might be built on different technological platforms or using different technical stack. So this whole application landscape is overseen by the enterprise architect, and whatever these applications are being developed should confirm or should adhere with the architecture principles. So enterprise architecture or enterprise architect will basically define guidelines or principles which every application team should adhere to. Okay. So, and these guidelines or principles are focused on the strategy side. Whatever the company's strategy, that will be known to the enterprise architect, and they will be making sure that whatever guidelines or principles they want to being enforced, this would be part of those guiding principles. So to remember, we can say that enterprise architect is more focused on strategy side than technology, but a solution architect is kind of balances between both strategy and technology. Because like enterprise architect maybe have a greater view of the organization portfolios, maybe a lot of applications or all the product, but solution architect might be focusing only on one particular product, for example, credit cards. So all the applications which are part of a credit card product would be basically overseen by the solution architect. Now he or she will be providing the solutions for any changes, right? So suppose, for example, there is a vulnerability we found in our application. So and that vulnerability impacts all the application across that portfolio. So now the work of solution architect is to find the solution which can be applied to the all the applications, because if every application is going to find out their own way, it is going to be mess, because we cannot learn from each other applications. So now this solution architect will try to find out a common solution that can be tweaked for every application based on its needs. So the solution architect will basically focus on the strategy side of its area, like credit card applications, and then find a solution that can be applied to all the applications in that purview, right? And similarly, that because he or she is operating in one area, then the technology focus is also limited. So maybe technologies which are part of that portfolio can also be analyzed by the solution architect to find out the best solution and best framework to be used. So we can say that the solution architect is kind of focusing or balancing between the strategy and technology. The strategy will be limited to its portfolio of that product, and then the technology focus also required, because the solutions need some technology impact, right? Because solution which you are giving to your application development teams, that need to be also tangible from their tech stack. Otherwise, sometimes it's a disconnect between whatever solutions they are providing to the dev teams, right? Now, third is the technical architects. So, technical architect, you can understand that I mean, that person is focused on one application or maybe two applications, totally in depth of the technology. Because whatever technology may be like Java, Python, any UI applications, whatever they are overseeing to be get implemented. Now they have to provide the guidance to the development teams so that they follow the standards, whatever coding the standards and whatever best practices, and how how they are being done, right? So technical architect is a person who is highly competent in the technology and maybe very like a, kind of master of one technology, and then he knows about other technology as well in a good depth, right? So but the strategy focus is not there, because now if we have trickled down like from the top view to the bottom view, where the view of a technical architect is just to focus on its applications from tech point of view. Because if you are developer, right, so what we do, that we are focused on our program, right, on our class, what we are doing. So above that there is a technical person, there is a technical architect that is going to oversee how the dev teams are performing their job, how they're implementing it, and making sure that all technical guidelines are being followed properly. So I think now it is clear that which role has focused on technology, which role has focused on strategy, and which role is basically trying to balance between these two focus areas. But there is no fixed rule, so it depends upon the organization and setup. So it's not like that the enterprise architect will not even talk about technology. It's not like that. But to understand in a nutshell, we can remember this thing so that we are clear about their role demarcation, right? So now let us see the what they do in their daily job. So, for example, the first one is like a person who has in-depth expertise in technology like Java, Python, or some other technology, right? So it is requirement for the technical architect, because he or she is a person who is more focused on a technical or technology tech stack, and focusing on the like coding standards or whatever the best practices for the technology, right? So This is like a job or like requirement for the tech architect. Now let us see the second requirement, like that translates design solution. So who is focusing on solutions? So if there is some problem or some design is there from business side or from the basically from the enterprise architect side, so the solution architect will focus to provide a solution for that. So and the guiding principle for that is to make sure that the solution should be generic enough so that that can be applied across applications in the purview with small tweaks. Now, there's a person who streamlines the whole application landscape. So when I talk about the app landscape, it means that all the application in the organization. So it means that enterprise architect is going to do this job because they have idea about the app landscape and they have the very big purview of the product lines across organization. Now let us see next one. So yeah, this one is like delivers a fully functional product. So delivery is basically focused by the technical architect because they are the person who has to coordinate with the development teams and make sure that delivery happens. Whatever product we are building, any application, whatever the case may be, that should be fully compliant with the requirement and should adhere to the principles. So this job is basically done by the tech architect. Next is practices enterprise architecture frameworks like TOGAF and Judgment. So this is done by the enterprise architect, but those who don't know about these frameworks are basically industry standards which are adopted by the organizations to establish the architectural streams in their company. So whenever you want to establish an architectural facility or department, you must follow these frameworks so that you're able to perform all the tasks or like all the steps properly. And like also these are like a generic framework, but every company need to customize it or tweak as per their requirements. Second is the defines the best fit solutions for problems. So whenever you see this word, right, solution, so solutioning part is done by the solutions architect. So whatever any problem is there, then you want solution. So that is done by the SAs. Now, who formulate the strategies? So, formulate and communicate the strategies or maybe technology strategies done by the enterprise architect because they are the person who are going to focus. Okay, what are the strategies for our framework or the technology? Because like they know, okay, what kind of technical support or things we need. So they will be focusing on this thing. Then last is the implements technical solutions. So whenever we have like implementation part or focusing towards application, then you should be clear that it is done by the technical architect. So these are the few examples I have taken, which are done by these roles, but there are hundreds or maybe thousands of tasks by which you can distinguish. And also, there is no clear-cut demarcation. So remember that these are just for the purpose of understanding. But if you say that it is like some black and white clarity, nothing like that, because a person sometime may play a role of the architect, sometime he might play also the role of other architects. So it's like a just guidelines for you. So just take it with a pinch of salt. So that's it. But as promised in the initial part of the video, I will give one tip or guru mantra that you will like how to become the successful architect. So for that, you have to become master of at least one technical stack. For example, if you're a Java developer and you aspires to become an architect in future, so you have to learn it in and out. Because if you know one technology in depth, then it is very easy for you to apply those knowledge and concepts in other tech stacks as well. Because as a developer, maybe you work in one technology, one stack, that is fine. But when you become an architect, right? So your area expands. So maybe in your project you have to deal with Java, .NET, mainframe, Python, and whatnot. So it is really important to become like a master of one technology and also have a good learning appetite for other technologies as well. So this is just one tip. I think if you remember this, you are going to be successful in your architectural journey. And I wish you all the best. And thank you for watching my video. See you next time. Please leave comments or questions. Please subscribe. Thank you.